Good Friday morning. Today's Friday, December 1st, 2023. This is your Friday safety meeting. My name is Dennis Davis. I work in the safety department. The safety department is located in the Z building, not the ground, not the top level, but should I say not the basement, not the top level, right on the ground level, center of the room, right next to the pillars. And if anyone ever has any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to give us a call or stop by. We always promise that we'll, at the very least, get you to the proper associate that can answer your question. First Friday in December, I'm feeling really festive. We've got our Christmas decorations going on. We've got them hanging from the ceiling. We've got the reindeer moving in the back of us. I think it's Christmas time, Dave.
I think he's checking you out, that reindeer. You know, last Friday I wasn't here, took my day off.
I noticed.
As you noticed. And I was watching this meeting, and you and Johnny were up there. I'm like, what is going on behind you guys? And I found out it's a reindeer moving back and forth.
Hey, well, you know,
they added a new addition, man. That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
Big shout out to Chris and Lee who put all these decorations up around here. They do a great job. It's beautiful.
So, and just shout out to the team all around. Of course, we do this 52 Fridays a year. We were here Black Friday, last Friday. Nobody except Dave was out doing a whole bunch of shopping. We were here. We were getting our free breakfast at each of our locations. John Blanton and his team do a fantastic job at each of our locations, making sure we get the proper amount of food. Sometimes the line gets a little bit long. Sometimes people order a little bit more than what they should, Dave. But, you know, we always get them taken care of. So let's give those folks a round of applause. All right. Also, we are simulcasting live at all three of our locations, Pittston, Salt Lake, and Springfield. And, of course, we are always live across the socials. So welcome to our folks that are watching on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So let's go east first. Let's see who we got with us. Do we have Richard and Rick this morning? Good morning. I'm going to assume that we don't have any audio from our folks out east, but that's okay. I see them waving. Good morning to you folks. So let's go ahead and just transition out west. Salt Lake City, who do we have with us?
Good morning, guys. You've got Aaron and Tyler with you this morning. Everything's going great out here in Salt Lake City. We've got, you can see we've upped our game a little bit here. We've got Santa Claus back here behind us singing some Christmas carols. Got a reindeer like you do. The only thing we're missing out here is a snowman, but we're working on that. We've got some weather moving into the area this morning, and need to be aware of that as drivers come down Parleys. That'll hit probably around 10 a.m. this morning.
Coming your way. So, you know, I think the Pacific Northwest, and I know you guys aren't in the Pacific Northwest, but I think you've got that part of the country has some significant weather coming this weekend. You've been reading the stories about that?
Yes, sir, we have. There is going to be some significant stuff moving to the area. It looks like most of it will be today through about 4 a.m. tomorrow. And the mountain passes, of course, will be where it gets hit the worst.
Always the case. It's December 1st, so you know we can't discount the fact that weather is here. So I think with you we've got Tyler Patrick. Good morning, Tyler.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Just real quick, I want to remind everybody there's another big storm coming through tomorrow. It's going to be in our gymnasium out here. For all of our drivers coming in that are here currently, we're going to have a basketball tournament here tomorrow, right? So if you're here, you got your ball and shoes, you want to gerbil around with us a little bit, Aaron's going to be taking an L tomorrow. Me and my team are bringing home a W, but nonetheless, it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're in the area, stop by, come hang out with us. It starts at 10 o'clock tomorrow. We're super excited. We got a good amount of teams, but if you're looking to jump in, by all means, hit one of your dispatchers up, fleet managers, whatever. They can get in touch with us. We'll put you on a team. Be excited to have you.
You know, and I'm not going to say that age plays a factor, but Aaron, how old are you?
I'm a little bit older than some of the competition out here, but hey, I've still got a good three-point shot.
All right, so I'm really concerned about knees and ankles and backs come Saturday morning. Make sure we're going to have Brandon Mallard here from our HR department to talk about open enrollment, so that you guys might want to pay special attention to that part. Make sure you know the hours of the local ER and have somebody on the medical staff readily available.
100%. You know, if Dr. A's not got anything going on today, put him on a truck headed this way. We'll see him tomorrow morning because we're definitely going to need some help out here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, I see you guys got your South Pole sign pointed that way. I think that's pretty awesome. So appreciate you guys being with us this morning. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to jump on the microphone.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, we got an awesome energy here. Right back here, Springfield, Missouri. Good morning, folks. Merry Christmas to you. It's that time of year. We all last week got our fill of turkey and ham and everything unhealthy. For those of you that are taking blood draws this week for your wellness, so your numbers might be just a little bit skewed, but we're glad to have you here this morning. With me here this morning, we've got Dave White in our safety department. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Dennis. Aaron already talked about it, hit it on a little bit. The winter weather. Today is the first meteorological day of winter. So next 3 months, man, I think it's going to go a little bit longer than that, but we're in that time of season. So
let's talk a little bit about winter. Aaron talked about a little bit of weather coming in through Salt Lake. I've been reading about this massive storm coming in through the Pacific Northwest, some type of atmospheric river coming through that's supposed to dump what they're predicting could be feet. Now, they're not predicting it in inches in the Pacific Northwest, but in feet that's coming in this weekend. So, we talk about it ad nauseum, but, my mindset is that, we don't talk about it enough. So let's talk about for just a minute or two what our stance is on operating in inclement weather.
Well, first of all, the biggest thing for a driver, I think the biggest point is trip planning, making sure you know what's going on up in front of you. And, if you're loading out in Ohio, Indiana, Pennsylvania, and you're heading to the West Coast, have that conversation with your fleet manager. And if you got a big storm like this one that's coming, is there a possibility we could take a different route? Can we go to the south? Can we go through New Mexico? The sales, they can have those conversations with the customer and say, hey, we're willing to pay a little bit more for out of route miles to take care of the driver and get the product there safely and get it on time. That's, and if not, hey, then you got to look at your options. And, you get into that winter weather, it gets tricky out there, Dennis, no doubt about it. And speed plays a big factor, and you got to reduce that speed, and the roads conditions start to get worse. And there comes a point, everybody's got their limitations. Some of our newer folks, you may not feel very comfortable pretty quick and start snowing, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Some of our other guys like Don Cook over here, he's been driving in winter weather for over 30 years. He may be able to go when it's, when the roads are covered. He doesn't feel, that he needs to stop. So you got to take that under advisement. Everybody's different. If you feel unsafe, you feel that truck needs to stop, that's your best call, then do it. Stop and get a hold of your fleet manager, get a safe place to park. Part of trip planning is know where to park too, know where to stop, and truck stops, rest areas. So be looking out and have a good game plan of where to go. When the conditions get worse. But yeah, we're coming right into it, and speed plays the biggest factor in a lot of these accidents. So,
we don't need any superheroes out there this weekend. We had one rollover accident last week. The interstate was closed, so the driver decided to take an alternate route. If the roads are closed due to inclement weather, that's probably a pretty easy sign that says, hey, maybe I need to shut down for a little while. That load of hot dogs that he was carrying, to that customer, it's very important. But I promise you that there were no hearts and lungs or ammunition going to the front line on that trailer, that somebody's gonna, be in a life or death situation on the other end if we don't get that load delivered. We don't do any of those products. Of course, our commodities are important. It's the food and clothes and pharmaceutical drugs that, all of our folks in this country need. But, the supply chain isn't so just in time that those frozen pizzas or those chicken breasts, they can't sit an additional 2 hours, 4 hours, even an extended 10-hour break, so that the road conditions can drastically change. Typically in a 10-hour period, it's a complete 180 than what it was during the toughest part of the storm. It allows the local jurisdictions to deploy their plows, treat the roads. It allows the other traffic to kind of plow the way for you. And, 6 to 10 hours later, it's completely different. It's just not worth the risk.
there you go. Plus you get a rest break, get some food, water, whatever you need, and be prepared to be able to roll when the road conditions get better. So, Dennis said, primarily up north, these northern states, they do a pretty good job trying to get those roads cleared. You start moving down south, it gets, you know, a little more sketchy sometimes, but you know, I think all the states throughout the last 10, 15 years have gotten better, including the southern states, trying to get these roads cleared and try to get sand and salt out there to get better traction and make it safer for traffic. Because, you know, nobody wants all these trucks and cars and stuff sitting, and nobody wants to be sitting out on the highway neither due to an accident and being in line. So, you know, be prepared. Make sure you got your truck ready. Make sure you got enough water and food in case you do get in a situation where there's an accident up in front of you, 3-4 miles, and you have to sit for a couple hours or maybe even longer, 4 or 5 hours. You got enough provisions to be able to last, so you don't, you know, get thirsty, hungry, things like that. So
that's fantastic information. Yeah, we got a really good crowd today. I see a lot of neon vests. That's always indicative that we've got some new folks in the building, and kind of looking around in Salt Lake City, looks like they've got a different camera angle than they typically have. But I see some neon vests out there too. So that means we've got some new folks here. So I'd like to ask all of our new associates at all three of our terminals, if you would stand for just a second to give us an opportunity to welcome you to the team. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for choosing Prime Incorporated to continue or even start your trucking career. It's no secret we've kind of bumped up our recruiting here lately, so we're seeing some more of these neon vests on a week-to-week basis on Friday. But you know, these are still, you know, tier 1 type folks. You know, these are the folks that have a unblemished criminal background. Their driving record is fantastic. Their previous work history is stellar. So, you know, these are the folks that we're bringing in. You know, this is how we do it.
And they're dedicated. Come in this time of year, really for training. This is the best time to come in. This is the best time to learn when the road conditions and the weather, it's kind of going to get a little rough out there, but this is the best time to learn. So next year, when you're still here and you're out there, you'll feel a lot more comfortable being able to navigate and make the proper decisions, you know, or stop, you know, at the end of the day, that's fine. But make that decision and you have a better background of what's going on, especially if you're from the South, because I know many of you probably never seen, some of you may have never seen snow or ice or even driven in it. And so you're in for a good experience. And this is the best way to be trained, Dennis, no doubt, rather than have to drive, you know, some of these truck stops, or I should say truck drivers, they use those gravel lots and stuff and put barrels up and cones, and you drive, and that's all you do. And then you got CDL, and there you go. Good luck. You know, so here you get the real deal.
Congratulations. Go conquer the world. Right?
There you go.
There you go. So also I see a bunch of familiar faces out there too. So to our veteran drivers, we appreciate you being here. Welcome home. You know, of course, while you're here, be safe. Make sure you take good use of the amenities, and then let's get back out on the road. So.
And also all those out there listening on social media to us too. Thank you for doing what you do, and thank you picking up on time, delivering on time, and most importantly, doing it safely. So appreciate you all, and hopefully you see this as a good meeting and you learned something today. So you know what? Every one of these meetings, even though I've been here over 20 years, I still learned something from one of these meetings, Dennis. So there's good information.
I do. So. You know, let's talk about inspections real quick. I'm looking at we've got a jam-packed meeting today.
Yeah,
so
we got to get rolling.
Let's get rolling.
So we had 112 inspections, 78 of those were clean, so a 70% clean rate. So great job. We lifted it up the last couple of weeks, and we're getting better. So yeah, good round of applause for all of our operators out there. You know, we're talking winter, and sometimes it's real easy to take shortcuts, and you come out from a truck stop, or you pull into a location and it's cold outside, you run inside, you get fuel, you do all that stuff. You go, do I really need to make a quick walk around and check my truck out, or is everything okay? I think it was okay, and you jump in and take off. Well, you know, you really still need to do a walk around. You need to check everything out. So let's not take shortcuts, and it's easy to do that. It's almost like, you know, we're kind of built sometimes for that. The weather's not good, a little cold out there, but don't take those shortcuts. You know, make sure you're always doing thorough pre-trips. Every time you stop, you're always checking those lights, checking, you know, your brake lights, your turn signals, because that's the easiest way for enforcement to pull you over. If one of your signals is out, or brake lights or headlights, they're going to stop you. And they do that, Dennis, we're already behind the 8 ball. We already got a violation. And then they're going to look at other things. Hey, if you got a headlight out, what else you got that's not right inside the cab? So they may check inside your cab too as well. So they can do the full thorough level 1 where they get underneath the truck, or they may just do a walk around, check your hours of service, and move on. So just be prepared out there. Let's not make any, don't take that chance of, yeah, I'll check it next time I stop. Do that pre-trip, just do a quick walk around, make sure everything's running fine.
That brings up an excellent point, Dave. I had a guy, stop me in the hall. It's like, hey, just give me like some real quick safety coaching. I was like, I give you a quick elevator speech, and like elevator speech, and this goes for all of our new folks as well as for all of our long-term drivers. Is be purposeful. All right, Dennis, what the heck does that mean? All right, and Dave kind of talked about it a little bit. When you take that shortcut, when you say, oh, I've taken this route from St. Louis to Amarillo 1,000 times. I don't need the trip plan. I don't need to. When you take those shortcuts, you're not being purposeful about making sure that you're going to be as safe as you can from start to finish, day to day, load to load, shift to shift, lane change to lane change. All right. And that's the way we've got some million-mile accident-free drivers out there. That's the way that they do it. They don't just go out on a whim and get lucky. Luck does play a little bit of part of it, but most of it is they're purposeful in everything that they do. They don't take the shortcuts. They make sure they monitor and pay attention to their equipment as much as they need to. They trip plan every single time. They're communicating with their fleet manager. They're not taking the risk when the road is inclement. They know that in 6-7 hours, the risk is exponentially lower than what it would be in the midst of the storm. So that's the quick elevator speech about how you be purposeful about not having accidents.
And not only that, Des, you can take it a step further. Just the bill of lading, the small things. Making sure you get that bill of lading and you review it. Make sure the temperature matches what you're getting sent on the Qualcomm. If there's any discrepancies where you're picking up at, where you're going to, you have the right bill of lading. Because sometimes customers they will make mistakes. They may give you the wrong paperwork, and if you don't catch that, you get out on the road. Now it's a big mistake. Now we got an issue. So always just do the little things. You do the little things right, the small things, and the bigger picture will be a lot clearer and a lot safer for all of us, and we'll be much more efficient out there.
All right. I know we didn't have our friends and PA on this morning, but if they were on, they'd tell you, hey, tonight's a big night for them. This starts the first round of prime Christmas parties, and we work extremely hard here. But one thing we do know how to do is we know how to throw a damn good party.
We do, no doubt. I think from our department, you can see John Harden out there, so watch out for Johnny. He may be hitting that dance floor pretty hard.
Well, again, the Dr. A is going to have some business coming up. Maybe even the chiropractor.
Chiropractor, yeah, no doubt. Dr. Papa.
But as we roll into this holiday season, I just want to give everybody a reminder. I'm a guy that enjoys a good spirit from time to time, a fine glass of wine or a good rare whiskey. Those are great gifts to give folks. Hint.
Is that a hint?
Hint. But one of the things I want to remind you of. So folks that are traveling to the Bay Area and you want to pick your family member up a good Napa wine and just keep it in the cab and take it home, put it under the tree as an excellent gift. You can't do that. You cannot do that. And I know it's just a gift. It's not open. I understand. You can't do that. You will be written up. You will be disqualified. You cannot have alcohol inside of the cab of your truck. And we go through this every single year, and I promise within the next couple of weeks, there's going to be someone that gets written up by an officer, and it's a gift. I promise. I wasn't going to drink it. I never drink. It's just a gift. But unfortunately, because you violated, one of the FMCSA regulations, we're going to have to act swiftly. So.
Yeah, and that includes in your box too, outside the truck, where you can't get into. The only way you get into it's by being outside your truck. Doesn't matter. You can't have alcohol, anything like that. Also, Dennis, we haven't talked about this in a while too, but a lot of states have passed recreational marijuana. Same thing there. Stay away from all that. That's a big no-no. I know a number of states, including Missouri, you can go in and buy marijuana and use it. And it's legal, but not in a commercial vehicle, not with this for a CDL holder, because you come up positive on a drug test and you won't be working in this industry. It makes it really tough. So take that to heart. And that's just the way it is. And hopefully someday we'll get a little bit more of that cleared up, but that's just what it is today. So, heading down that path, you got to value your CDL, and that's very important. And having any type of alcohol or drug violation on it, that hurts you. And it hurts you from getting employed too as well, because there's a system out there called the PSP, pre-employment screening process, where all inspections get reported to by the states, and any carrier hiring you, they'll get one of those PSPs and they'll see it right away what the violation is. So
What a transition from marijuana and alcohol to driver health and fitness. So let's
there we go.
Let's bring up our folks in driver health and fitness. Let's bring up Rachel and Kobe. We've really made them a staple at every single safety meeting, because part of being a safe operator, of course, is being compliant. Of course, is maintaining speed and alleviating distractions in the cab. But, where it starts is making sure you take care of your physical self. So, hey, good morning, Rachel.
Good morning,
Kobe.
Good morning, everyone.
Keep the mic if you
Good
want.
morning. So I'm Rachel. I'm with the Driver Health and Fitness Department, and I just have a quick health tip. So my health tip this morning is try to make your environment work for you. So what does that mean? Like, if you have a health goal of wanting to lose weight, maybe, then try not to have things in your cab, whatever your environment is, that are going to maybe, not allow you to reach that goal. So if you know that you're going to go overboard on sugary beverages, and that's a lot of extra calories, it can definitely cause weight gain, then don't keep those in your cab, don't buy them. Or if you know that you're going to go overboard on Cheez-Its or potato chips, then don't keep them in your cab. Don't keep them in your environment where they are accessible to you. Obviously, that's not something you can't always control your environment, right? Like, you're going into the truck stop, for example, and you see it there and you just impulse buy. That's what we're here for. So, right, Colby? So we are here to help be that accountability person, help to plan this farther out if you need more details.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So my insight would be, just adding to that, is that sometimes we don't know what our environment needs to be or we want it to be, right? So that's where you come in, or we have our personal trainers in all locations. Just come talk to us, ask us questions, see what we can do to help. Because again, every one of you is on your own journey. So we want to make sure I meet with you until there's not enough hours in the day that say, hey, what are you doing? What would you like to do? How can we help? So that's exactly what you're talking about. That's trying to create the environment around you. And that's where, I always say, even down to the youth coach, kids that I coach, it's really about controlling the environment you can control, right? Control what you can. Don't worry about the rest. So that's
And
it.
I actually have a driver who did this. He controlled his environment and he saw some success. Logan, would you be willing to share a little bit of that?
Come on, you always want to talk. Come on.
Oh, I should share with everybody.
I love it. Hey.
So Logan, what aspect of your environment did you change? What did you stop buying?
Basically fast food. It's a hard choice to make sometimes, but if you go out and buy stuff, believe it or not, you'll save money. I went from spending $200-300 a week in food to now $160, maybe $60 to top it off. So I'm saving myself now $140 a week.
Wow.
That's $140 I can play with.
Yeah. And you also saw some changes to you're getting closer to your health goal that you had. So that's awesome. It is hard to make those decisions at times, but that's why we are here. You talked with myself and you talked with Colby, and
Yeah. What's up, by every time I'm here to talk, to chat. But yeah, 2 years so far. I started 2021, I was 405, down to 363 now. So it's working. It just takes time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good job, Logan.
Hopefully 180. Goal is 180 by 2 more years, 180.
Yes. Yeah.
Be as light as I've ever been. So
Mhm. Yep. And we're here to help you keep, reaching that goal. So.
yeah, me and Kobe have a bet.
Yeah, we do. And we'll talk about that some more. What I want to talk about the most, just for a second, I know I'm taking your time, but is where sometimes we can go excessive on things, right? If we want to try to get really after it, we can. But in some instances, it's just making casual changes that can make a difference, right? That's what we talk about. It doesn't have to be I'm going to run 7 miles a day. I'm going to only eat vegetables. I'm going to, sleep 75 hours a week. Little steps, right? We're doing it casually. And so I joke with you all the time, and I love our sarcasm together, but it's really about what you've accomplished is kind of but it's not, dude. It's a huge deal. So
yeah, I went from
congratulations.
3 1-liter sodas, 2 monsters a day to now maybe a quarter of that. So
dude,
it's just, you got to make that choice.
and that's money and health, dude. Good for you. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're the man.
Thanks.
There you go. All right.
Good morning, Gabe. Thank you, guys, and thank you for coming up and sharing your story. It's so important to hear it from the folks that it affects directly every single week. So we're going to have to keep it rolling here.
Keep rolling, buddy.
You know, so we're going to throw it back west to Salt Lake City. Last week, I skipped right over Tyler Patrick. This week, I'm not going to do it. I've made that
Because I'm up
promise.
here. I'm not going to let you.
Dave kind of kept me on track. So good morning again to you, Tyler. What do you got for us this morning?
Oh yeah, we're good. There we go. We just don't turn it off out here. No, good morning, guys. Thank you for having me back up here. I just want to talk a little bit. You know, we run an assessment bay at here in Salt Lake in our Springfield facility, and as well as in Pennsylvania. So, you know, the assessment bay kind of gets some scrutiny sometime from our drivers. So I just kind of want to speak on behalf of the assessment bay and what the focus is, right? We do a lot of training with our pad guys and our pad training folks as far as, you know, doing your pre-trip inspections, making sure you have a good understanding of what you look for before you take off for the road on the day. Whenever you get done for the day, the things you want to be looking for. However, there's still ever-changing things. There's those things that you can't get underneath the truck and look at, or maybe just things you don't know to check out. And that's where we have trained professionals at all these facilities ready to inspect your equipment to make sure that when you turn out of here and you're headed north on 15, you're not getting stopped up there before you get to Tremont at the weigh scale to find out you got DOT issues. You know, we'd have a very different conversation. You know, I get a lot of calls, hey man, they out of service me because of this. And we're like, absolutely we did. That's 100% what that assessment base for. We want to identify those issues that are going to keep you safe, keep the motoring public safe out there, especially going into the holidays with the winter weather and everything coming on. We want to make sure that when we sign off on your equipment that we've looked at it, it is 100%, right? Sometimes maybe our inspectors get a little overexcited. They point out a lot of things, and a lot of times they just want to bring it to the attention of the driver. They want to bring it to the attention of the technician, something that they're like, hey, we feel like this may be worth looking into a little bit more. So let's go ahead and have a technician take another second look at it and make sure that they're kind of verifying what I've seen here. So the focus here isn't to put anybody out of service. The focus isn't to keep you guys from generating revenue. The focus is to keep you generating revenue for a long time. We don't want to see you out there collecting violations, affecting CVSA scores, affecting your points on your license. We want to see you guys successful. When we leave out of here, we want you to be safe. So a lot of times people say, well, man, you know, you write me up. I have all these issues, but your shop can't get me in. Well, right now is the best time that I've seen in a long time for our tractor shop capacity. Here in Salt Lake, I know in Pennsylvania and Springfield as well, we have same day, if not next day service. A lot of times we have potential to work you guys in as soon as we can get done with that assessment, if not get you an appointment within the next 12 hours. So maybe we need to talk to dispatch and push that appointment back a little bit for the delivery. Maybe we need to look at maybe repowering it or whatever. The biggest goal here, guys, is that we're leaving here safe, and we have the capacity right now. Additionally, does anybody here know what like an over-the-road labor cost is at some of our dealer groups? Right here around the corner, the international dealers, $195 an hour is their door rate, right? We get a better deal than that. Our people help hook us up. But nonetheless, your generic truck driver walking through the door is going to pay $195 an hour. Our internal shop rate is $95. So for every hour of labor you're getting billed to your truck, you're saving $100 by getting your work done internally versus over the road. So keep that in mind, guys. Capitalize on your time that you're spending at the terminals. Try and, you know, stay out of those dealer groups over the holidays. If you're going to be parking the truck, park it at a terminal, bring it in, let us take a look at it, save you a little bit of money, put that back underneath the Christmas tree or something like that. So anyways, I just wanted to kind of talk about some of that. Does anybody have any questions regarding the truck shop or assessment bay?
Think you're clear.
All right. Well, guys, that's it. I just want to kind of get up here and talk about some of the capacity we have and what the focus of that assessment bay is. So anyways, happy holidays, guys. Thanks for having me up here, and we'll be around if anybody has any questions.
Thank you so much, Tyler. Let's give him a round of applause. You know, trying to balance out that triangle, of course, talking about safety, talking about maintenance, talk about, you know, driver health and wellness, but also, you know, we want to talk about the benefits that you have as a driver associate here at Prime. So we're going to have Brandon Mallard come on up and talk a little open enrollment for lease operators. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning. Thank you. I won't take up too much of your time. I know we've got, you know, a lot of people in the meeting today, but really just wanted to get out here in front of you and talk to the independent contractors. So your open enrollment is still going on for medical, dental, life, vision, all that. You have until January 15th. One thing I really do want to point out is if you currently have a medical plan with, through the marketplace or with Enrollment First, The government does require that you re-enroll in that plan. Unfortunately, it's not like W-2 side benefits where they will roll over. So if you're interested in benefits, we've got Dave Brill here on site with Enrollment First. Enrollment First has a 800 number where you can call, but just really want to get out in front of you and let you know that you have until January 15th to actually enroll and elect benefits. So even if you have them, check your beneficiaries on your life insurances, those sorts of things, because life does change. And, you want to make sure that in those situations, the people you care for and you want to take care of, they are taken care of. So just make sure you elect your plans by January 15th. Does anybody have any questions for me before I hop out of here? Nope. All right. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Brandon.
All right, good information, Dennis, right there.
That's right. Make sure folks are getting taken care of just in case something happens to you, Dave.
Let's keep it rolling, brother. What do you get next?
All right, I think we got some, every time we bring these folks up, it's so much of a popular portion of, so we want to have Haley Gibbons from our leasing department. She's going to come up and she's also going to highlight one of our vendors. So good morning, Haley.
Hello. Good morning. Hello, Prime family. Good morning. I'm Haley.
morning.
This is Philip and Todd from Thermo King. I'm going to talk really quickly about Success Leasing. See if you guys have any questions. We haven't been up here in a while, and then I will pass it over to Thermo King. Again, my name is Haley. So Success Leasing, just want to go over kind of ordered trucks really quickly. Right now, we are ordering for the month of April. So after you have been leasing with Success for 3 months, you can order your truck. So right now you have the option to order a Freightliner or a Peterbilt. It's very simple. You just go on our website at successleasing.com. You can pick some extras that you would like. If you have been leasing for over a year, we can run those extras through your settlement over 10 weeks per your dispatcher's approval. If you have not been leasing for over a year, we'll just have to have the funds for the extras before I can place the order with the manufacturer. I really do communicate a lot through email with this. So please be checking your spam, be checking your email with your ordered trucks. I really handle most of the ordered trucks. So if you guys have any questions, please ask me. If you are wanting to do a lease purchase, which is also known as an ACE lease, is a wonderful program. It starts at $14,000 down, but for every year you've been leasing, you get $1,000 off that down payment. Up to $6,000. So the down payment can be as low as $8,000. Really quickly, I just want to remind you guys about your retention and rewards. This is a fabulous, fabulous program. The biggest piece of this is make sure you guys do not go over 59 days. So you turn in your truck, you get your lease completion incentive, you go home, you're ready to relax and recharge. Guys, we want you to do that. We want you to be with your families. But make sure you are back here. You are signed up on our list for another truck before 59 days, okay? You have to have a lease signed within 59 days to continue your retention and rewards. There's so many things that go off of that. You earn money from Success and Prime. You earn forgiven lease payments. You earn longevity benefits with your down payment with lease purchase. So it is a wonderful thing. Obviously, the longevity, the more you're with a company, the more benefits you continue to earn. So we are so thankful for every one of you. And do you guys have any questions for Success? Delightful. Well, if you do, I'll be right over here. Feel free to ask me. And I'm going to give it over to Thermo King. Have a great day. Merry Christmas.
You're dressed for it too. Yeah.
Thank you, Haley. Hey, we appreciate the opportunity to come up and address you guys today. Just some quick introductions. I'm Todd Randall. I'm with the local Thermo King dealer. What we're going to specifically talk about today is our 3rd generation tri-pack APU that's recently been launched and is now available. I'm going to turn it over to Philip here in a second to go through a couple of really exciting enhancements and features that are available on our 3rd generation tri-pack APU. Before I turn it over to Philip, never want to miss an opportunity to thank you guys for your business. On behalf of our local Thermo King dealership, I just want to make sure you know that we really appreciate your business and very much value the relationship. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Philip to go over a couple of the new features of the tri-pack 3 APU.
All right, thanks, Todd. Some of the new things, you're not really going to notice anything on the outside that's any different The one thing you're going to notice as a driver is you're going to notice a new digital HMI, okay? And then the APU telematics. Can we go to the next screen, please? Okay, so this is, it's hard to see, but this is going to be more like your thermostat in your house. Okay, you're going to be able to set it on 70, okay? And it's going to monitor that. You're going to have codes, so it's going to read your code. So it's going to tell you, I have a code 18, high engine temp. No longer you're going to get the triangle and you don't know what the code is. So we've got a new updated screen. It's got hour reminders for your service, okay? So we can put service reminders in there. We can do stuff over we've got telematics now, so we can do stuff over the air. We can clear codes, that kind of stuff. So some exciting things coming out. We're working through a little bugs right now, but for the most part, I think we've got those figured out on the new units. And actually the HMI is smaller overall, so you're going to notice that as well. Next slide, please. Okay, APU telematics, we can run hour tracking, so we can for fuel reporting. We know where you were when you were running the APU. Real-time alarm notifications, so we're going to be able to see that actually like we do our reefers. We'll be able to read those codes over the air, okay? And then maintenance reminders, again, we'll set that reminder for you to get that heater serviced, okay? Every 2,000 hours. Remember that. We're running on wintertime here. If you have not had that heater serviced, please get it serviced. We don't want you with the cold temps out there. And then over the air updates. So if we come out with any new software updates, we can do that over there as well. So it's kind of touching on that really quick, but if you have any questions, anybody got any questions? If not, we'll be over here after the meeting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you so much. So again, press for time, we're going to keep it rolling. Anytime we get in front of a group of drivers, it's always important that we touch on cargo claim prevention. And we haven't touched on it in a couple of weeks, and we'll have our next speaker, Jeff Chisholm, come on up. He handles a couple of different things, but he's going to speak specifically toward cargo prevention. We had a really preventable claim this week, and it's just a few steps, and it kind of goes back to what I talked about earlier about being purposeful about what you're doing. So good morning, Jeff.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Merry Christmas to everybody. Hey, thanks so much for having me up here this morning, and just want to kind of hit on a couple of topics. Really, Dave brought up the first topic earlier, and it's a very important topic. It's your bill of ladings. And I just want to make sure everyone is aware that your bill of lading is a legal document. It's a receipt of goods from our shippers, and we are tasked with delivering all of that product to the receiver in the same good condition. So a couple of very important steps that we need to make, when we're at the shipper first, make sure that you have all copies of the bill of lading. I mean, if you have a bill of lading that says, page 1 of 5, make sure you have all 5. Verify the temp requirements, so we're hauling the load at the right temp. Look over all your paperwork, make sure there's no special instructions we need to know about. If you pick up at a healthcare facility, a pharmaceutical, something strange like that, look at the temp carefully, make sure it doesn't say C or Celsius, where we have to make some kind of conversion and convert it over to Fahrenheit. Make sure you're keeping the loads locked and sealed, and please, everyone, use an alloy lock. We have very good success with those. When you deliver the load, here's a very important part. You need to get all of the products signed for in full, and you need to check your bill of ladings very carefully. Sometimes they're difficult to see. They're a little misleading at times, and easy things that come to mind, maybe like you have a bill of lading that says 630 cases shipped, and the receiver writes 629. Well, we have a problem. Something's missing. Something is potentially going to be charged to us. So you need to contact our claim department, and we need to figure those things out. My best advice for contacting claims is to scan all of your bills to the Prime app prior to calling. If you have any rejected product, I would take pictures of the product, take pictures of the label, scan that on the Prime app. That way we have everything available when you call, and we can work as a team to contact our customers and work together to resolve your problem. So we're all looking at the same information. There's no confusion. There's no, well, what's this number? And the shipper needs this number. We've got all the information to help you. Another thing, Dennis kind of touched on this, very importantly, guys, check your trailers when you're empty. And when you're empty is kind of a gray area because you're not always empty. We're seeing a lot of these customers who are rejecting product and they're not noting it on the bill of lading, or they're noting it in a manner that is very difficult for you to see. You've got to look at those trailers very carefully, shine a flashlight up in there, make sure there's nothing up in the nose, there's no white boxes against a white bulkhead that's hard to see. We recently showed up at a truck wash with 64 cases of meat that we were unaware of, $24,000 of meat that was rejected, and we turned the reefer off. So guys, take those steps very, very seriously. Take care of business, take care of your business. And like I said, look at these bill of ladings, look at your trailers, and please contact claims if you have any concerns, any questions, any OS&Ds, and let us help you out. Okay, it sounds pretty easy, right? We just got to take care of those steps. Any questions for claims before we move on to our next speakers? Yes, sir.
How important it is to make sure that your trailer is properly washed, clean, chutes intact before you even go pick up the load to avoid those issues.
Yeah, and there's a lot of other issues. I could spend a lot of time up here. But guys, clean trailers is very, very important. The issues I see is typically after we haul a meat load, without exception, if you haul a meat load or a poultry load, you must have that trailer washed out. If there's the tiniest bit of blood in the channels, if that trailer gets loaded, it will likely be rejected when it gets to the receiver. And we had a load of cheese where that very thing occurred this week. So, check your trailers, make sure the chute's up, it's connected at the bulkhead, it's in good condition, make sure the trailer's clean, it's washed out. We want to look professional. We want to provide a good, working, clean trailer to our customers to haul their food product. They're looking at us to be the professionals, the experts. So let's convey that. Let's convey that to them. All right. Anything else? All right. Well, thanks so much for your time, and everybody have a great holiday.
Well, Dave.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Thanks. Just a few housekeeping notes. I think a few speakers have talked about the Prime mobile app. So it is the most useful tool for our new folks. Make sure you download the Prime mobile app at your Google Play Store or your App Store on your Apple device. For any questions, back and better than ever, feeling great this week. We've got Brianne over here to my right. She can answer any questions you have, technology related. Just come on up after the meeting and she can get you taken care of.
And no mask neither. So
no mask this week either. So we're good to go. We're good to go. So, also we've seen, Jeff Chisholm came up here. Haley was up here. Our friends, peddling the tri-pack were up here. Everybody had on red. Brandon Mallard didn't have on red. I just remember that. Brandon didn't have on red.
I think he's thinking deer hunt maybe or something.
But that's okay. That's okay. So we wear red, try to wear red every single Friday. We're a company that we appreciate the folks that go out and defend this country and both foreign and domestic. So we had a driver that asked me to also highlight folks that serve as first responders. We had an emergency out here this morning, and first responders were able to come out and get that situation taken care of pretty timely, basically right away. So we appreciate those folks too. But if you serve in the armed forces, we're going to ask you to stand for just a quick second so that we can properly honor you. Let's give these folks a round of applause. Thank you so much. And of course, during this time of year, it's always tough for those folks that are deployed and tough on those families that you're missing Christmas, you're missing Thanksgiving, missing New Year's. But we really appreciate the sacrifice that you and your families have made and are currently making. So, We've had a great meeting today, and I think we've covered, basically all three of those triangles. We're going to close it on out here. I think we just broke the internet. Folks are probably going crazy. That's not what they tuned in to hear. They didn't tune in to hear you, Dave. They didn't tune in to hear me. They tuned in to hear the Jim Guthrie.
Jim Guthrie, that's right.
And, just been post on the internet all week long about, hey, we're going to make this announcement about what the holiday initiative is. And, here we are, December 1st, ready to make that announcement. So we're going to ask Jim Guthrie, our Director of Reefer Operations, to come on up. Jim, I'll say this. I haven't heard what it is, but people are so excited about what you got to announce. If you look around the room, there's tons of folks still hanging out that typically have left by now.
Man,
so the floor is yours.
Dennis, I appreciate it. I tell you what, I'm not sure they're here to hear, or they tuned in to hear me, but this is a great time of the year, holidays. Man, just what beautiful job we've done with our folks that have decorated the terminals. It kind of gets you in the festive spirit. So. And, we thank Robert and all of our staff that does such a nice job decorating the terminals. So we're getting into the holiday season. We're thinking about, our customer support during their most time of need, which is really right around Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's. And that time period is really a critical time for our customers. We don't sell spot market freight. We don't take trucks to the spot market. We sell year-round, dependable capacity, dependable service, reliable, all those things. And that's what our customers expect around the holidays as well. There's a lot of folks that are at home having holiday parties or family gatherings. They're all cooking lots of food, and the store shelves get depleted and emptied out. And our customers really need support around that time to replenish those inventories and support their business that they support us with all year round. So in that spirit, we are announcing a big holiday initiative giveaway this year, similar to what we did last year, but we're going a little bit bigger this year. We're gonna give away cash prizes, over $200,000 worth of cash prizes for drivers that in the reefer division, chances to win for drivers that are out supporting our customers during that big, most important time of need. So the breakdowns are going to be like this: 50 names drawn for $1,250. 20 names drawn for $2,500, 10 names drawn for $5,000, and 2 names drawn for the grand prize of $25,000 cash. So every day that you're available between December the 23rd and January the 2nd, you will be have your name entered, and we'll have, like we did last year, we'll have those names drawn or entered into our big tub there that has all the names that are entered, and then we'll have a big drawing on January the 12th, Friday morning. I believe January the 12th. Yeah. So and that will be here at the Friday morning meeting. Be lots of excitement around that, and you will be able to track your status on the app. So we're going to be working on that as well. And that all the winners will get their money paid out to their settlements on January the 19th, the next Friday, the next week's settlement. So, again, we're really excited about having the opportunity to win. The odds, it's a lot better than going and buying a lottery ticket. There's really good odds out there, but most importantly, it's best for your financial health to make yourself available as many days as you can during that time period. What's going to happen in the first quarter is really unknown. We don't see a big change in demand in the short term. So, it's going to be a little bit harder this year versus past years to get yourself back into where you need to be financially after the holidays if you take too much time off. So, this is an incentive to encourage you. You have lots of other incentives, to encourage as many days available as possible. holidays are important. You know, being home with your family is important. We recognize that. And we'll work with you to load you through the house, you know, meet your needs. We'll get creative to do everything we can with the freight that's available to help meet your needs. But we just want to encourage you to be available as many days as possible. You know, several years back, you go back 5-10 years, that first quarter can be really, really tough on your business because of the demand kind of decreasing during that time period. So, we probably want to plan for a pretty tough first quarter and make everything we can, during the holiday season to keep yourself financially healthy. So, any questions for me? It is only for reefer drivers. Yeah. Tanker and flatbed are both really important, and the demand for their customers, though, is just not the same way it is during the holidays for the reefer division with food and pharmaceuticals. Just, really a lot of the flatbed customers take some time off around that time, and there's just not much demand. So this is a reefer initiative, and it's in support of our core customer base that expects that year-round 52-week-a-year capacity and support from us.
You're going to hold ours in July,
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
You're going to hold the flatbed raffle July 4th around business season?
Well, I tell you, if flatbed demand ever becomes as crazy as reefer demand does during Christmas time, there's always a chance that might happen. Other questions? Okay, thank you all. Happy holidays. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate that. Yeah, I get what you're talking about, flatbedders and tankers and how that all relates to this particular incentive. But it is not really apples to apples, unfortunately. So we'll be creative. You get some ideas, talk to your fleet manager around the 4th of July, and we'll see what we can do. I've kind of enjoyed looking at this scenery back here. This deer I'm telling you what that deer is doing. It's sending a subtle message. It's saying, check your mirrors. I mean, you see, he's checking his mirrors. I like that. My name's Steve Wetke. I'm in sales. It's good to see you all. Really proud of those new folks that chose our company to start your career with. We appreciate it very much. We think we have the best thing going, and certainly proud that you chose us. So I think if you listen to the speakers here, you hopefully get the right idea. We don't want you to be victimized. We want you to do your job. We want to support you. Jeff Chisholm does a terrific job, he and his team, in claims. We realize that it's not always easy when you look at those bills of lading, but you just got to take your time and sort through it. Don't leave if you got a question. Call your fleet manager while you're still there on site. Just don't be a victim. Always ask questions. We're here to help you. We'll get you to the right person, and please just ask questions. As Jim said, part of service is really 52 weeks a year. Our customers depend upon us. Part of service is having good, clean drop trailers. Part of service is delivering on time, the right count, the right condition. All of that is just part of the service that we all provide, that you all provide, and you do a terrific job. We have a ton of Carrier of the Year awards back here. As you walk through our hallways, you'll look at those, and along with that, you will see million milers, 2 million milers, 3 million miler plaques. Our highest calling here at Prime is safety. That will never change. While we are committed to service, we're all about safety. And we also recognize that a healthy driver is a safer driver. So we invest in that with you all. Really proud of what you've accomplished with your weight. Young man, that is awesome. You got a ways to go, but you'll get there. It's a journey, and you got a lot of support here with you. So congratulations on that. You're a great example. So you give him a round of applause, because that's not easy. And let me just tell you something. As you get older, it gets harder. So you just got to kind of stick with it. we don't really know what the future holds as far as, demand, but we do think certainly supply is going to diminish. So if we're out there running, I think we'll have a better opportunity to load these trucks and keep you moving. And that's really what it's all about. Your time's valuable. We know you need to be out there running, and that's our goal, to get you to a load that will compensate you for your time and effort. So I'm going to bring up now the guy that started our company, Robert Lowe. And Robert, I'd like to thank you for investing again with our operators to provide capacity to our customers at the end of this year. I mean, that is a great thing for us to do. Thank you for thinking like that. Thank you all for what you're doing. You all out there running right now, thank you for delivering today and this weekend. Appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. We've got Pittston on the line, and I want y'all to remember we're coming up there tonight. So we're going to see you here after a while, and we're going to have one hell of a party in Pittston, Pennsylvania tonight. We have these parties, really to honor our associates, especially our drivers. And Springfield, big party, right? Salt Lake City, you have a nice one there. And of course, Pittston tonight. So they're a lot of fun, really looking forward to it. Steve said it all. He gets up here in front of me, right? And so he steals all the good stuff I was going to say. And, he figures it out, and then he reads my notes, and then he says it. So I don't want to be too redundant other than to say, thank you. Really appreciate it. Appreciate what you do, the sacrifices you make. We know that many of you will be out there running and making a sacrifice or postponing your holiday celebrations until, after the holidays. That's all those sacrifices you make are very much appreciated and recognized. So thank you in advance for that. We're going to get out here and haul some freight. Business, believe it or not, it's gradually, we're in a hell of a freight recession. Our competitors are really struggling. They're having a hard time right now. You see them in the truck stops, you talk to them perhaps. It's business is slow for them. We're having to deadhead more, we're having to shift some trucks, but we have freight, high dollar freight to run to. A lot of people don't. So if we have any customers on the line, I want to thank you for your support. Very much appreciated. These drivers appreciate it. And you'll see that reflected in the service you get, which is from Prime. It's damn good. Appreciate all of you. Merry Christmas a little bit early. I'll say it again. God bless each of you, and please be safe.
Thanks, sir.